So welcome to this training on live streaming for musicians. It's a training designed to get you up and running with the best audio quality and the best video quality. So let's jump right into it. So first, let's go over a list of things that you're going to need to set this up properly. Now, obviously, you'll need a computer or a laptop, and that laptop can be running Windows or Mac or even Linux as your operating system. Next, you'll need an internet signal, preferably a wired signal. And this is simply because a wired signal is stronger. You can absolutely use wireless signals, especially if you have a strong one. If you're near your router and things like that, this will work just fine. But definitely a wired connection will work better. So use the Ethernet cable, connect your computer or your laptop to that router with an Ethernet cable. Now, next, of course, you'll need an audio interface, and most of us musicians have these, some sort of audio interface. So something like a Focusrite Scarlett or, any kind of interface like that that has, two or more channels on it. And actually, you don't even need one with more than one channel. This will work with one channel just fine if that's all you're going to do, recording yourself, say, singing a cappella or even just running, a piano through it or something like that, or a guitar. This will work just fine, but definitely two-channel interface or more is better. Now, next, something that's optional is a separate mixer to have outside of the audio interface. And this is simply because if you want to run something like, several different instruments, if you want to do like a keyboard, drums and stuff like that, you want to run all of that stuff to a mixer and then simply run the stereo outs out of the mixer into the two channels into your audio interface. And the reason that this is the case is because the software that we're going to use, this OBS software here, it only stereos the first two channels in your audio interface. So your channel 1 and 2, let's say you have an audio interface that's 8 channels. So the software will take the first two channels and run those stereo. It won't do it with the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. It'll only do it with the first two. So if you want to get that stereo sound out of, say a full band, what you can do is run them through a mixer, say, 10 channel, 15 channel, 16 channel mixer or something like that. Mix the sound of it in that mixer and then run out of that mixer into your audio interface in the first two channels. Now, next, as I just mentioned, you'll need the OBS software, and we'll get to that in a second. The next thing you'll need, and this is optional as well, is a USB mic. Now, the purpose of this is because the software, again, that we'll use here, you'll only be able to use the first two channels in your interface if you want to run stereo. So what having a USB mic allows you to do is have a separate mic that the software sees outside of your audio interface. So this could be, you could have your two channels from your audio interface, and then you have a USB mic which you could sing or talk into. Now, the next thing is optional as well, the Sparko Cam software. Now, unfortunately, this software is only for Windows, so only you Windows users can use this. What this allows you to do is if you have, a separate camera, a DSLR camera or, a Canon or Nikon camera of some sort, this will allow you to use that camera as your live stream video capture device. So instead of using like your phone or your laptop camera or something like that, which is sometimes can be less quality, you can use a higher quality camera like a Nikon or a Canon if you have one, a DSLR. But again, this is completely optional. Most of the time the phone works pretty well. All of our phones these days have excellent cameras on them, so that's definitely an option. Now, lastly, of course, you'll simply need your instruments of choice or your vocal in which you plan to live stream. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is go to Google and type in Open Broadcaster Software. Now, what you want to do is select the first option here that says OBS or Open Broadcaster Software. Again, keep in mind this can move to like the second option or the third option, how Google works. So just look for the one that says OBS, Open Broadcaster Software. And once you click that, you'll be taken to the page where you can download this software. Now, this is going to be the heart of the live stream. This is what's going to allow us to capture audio and video from our computer and live stream it. So depending on whether or not you're using a Windows computer or a Mac computer or even a Linux computer, this works on all three. Click each one of these buttons or your respective button and download the one you want. Now, for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm on a Windows computer, so we'll download the Windows. So we'll click Windows here. As you can see, the download automatically started, so we're in good shape. All you have to do is click this and it'll open up the thing where you are going to install the software. Now, of course, this is the same thing for Mac. All you have to do is download it and click the file to start installing it, and it'll take you through this installation process. Now, I'm going to click next, but I'm not going to go through this whole entire installation process because I already have this software installed on my computer, so it's not going to even let me do it. So once I click next, it's going to tell me I already have it running, so please close it first. So, and I'm okay on this. So all you have to do is just continue through this process. Click the next button and then go through the process of installing. It's a very, very simple process. Okay, once you have OBS installed, you open it or launch it, and this is the main page that you'll see. So I'll walk you through quickly how to set this up to get your audio and video going to where your live streams are great. So the first thing we need to do in this software is set it up to see your audio interface where it's going to capture your sound from. So what you want to do is go down here to the window that says sources. This is where you select all of your video and audio sources that you want OBS to see. So as you can see, I have a few set up here. I have my Canon camera set up, my Focusrite interface, and my Snowball blue microphone. So, and this is the USB microphone that I'm using now. So I'll walk you through how to set this up. It's really simple. All you have to do is go down here underneath sources and click this plus button, and it'll take you to this list. Now, the first thing we'll do is add an audio input capture. And again, this is what you're going to select to get your audio interface or OBS to see your audio interface. So select the audio input capture button and you'll see this page open. Now, what you want to do here is select the create new, so you can create a new input audio capture, and you can call it whatever you want. As you can see, I labeled mine here Focusrite. So you can, whatever your interface name is or whatever you want to call this, you can call it whatever you want to call it. Just, put a name in there and then select OK. Make sure you have this checked, the make source visible check, so you'll see it, and just click OK. Now in this list, this drop down list here, you'll see all of the available audio input devices that you have on your computer. So you can see here my blue Snowball mic is connected, my Focusrite interface is connected, and several others. So whichever things you have connected to your computer, this will automatically see it. What you want to do is select your audio interface, and again, I'm using the Focusrite audio interface here. So whatever yours is, if you have a different brand, just select that one, click on it and click OK, and it will add this device. Now, before you do that, make sure this use device timestamps thing is unchecked. This is something that a lot of people have been having trouble with in OBS. It's designed to do a specific thing that we won't get into in this video, but just for now, just to have it unchecked so you don't run into any issues. So then you click OK. I'm not going to click OK because again, I already have my Focusrite here selected. But once you click OK, it's going to add it to, matter of fact, I'll go ahead and click it so you'll see what it does. So once you click OK, it'll add this audio input capture too. You see it there because I didn't name it. So, and of course, I'm just going to get rid of it in a second, but this is what it'll be called. So you can add it there. So let me take that out. Now from here, what you want to do is go, and you can see my Snowball mic here as I'm talking, see the line picking up, or the wave thing here picking up my voice. So this is what you'll see once you know your stuff is connected correctly. So the first thing you want to do here is go to the interface that you chose. And again, so I'm going to go to my Focusrite, select on that. You don't even really have to have this selected. This is just sort of a good practice. But what you really want to do is select it here in this window. So you see my Focusrite interface here, my blue Snowball here. What I want to do is click on this gear icon here below Focusrite and go to Advanced Audio Properties. Now, this is where this gets a little bit tricky, but it's still not that complicated. What you want to do here is just simply follow these settings. So the most important thing you want to look for here, and this is something you're going to have to test. This is why I say it's kind of tricky. This sync offset. So what this does is sometimes what happens is the video will kind of be a little offset from the actual audio. So your mouth will be moving or will appear to be moving slower or faster than your words are actually coming out of your mouth. And that's not what you want. You don't want to look like a Chinese kung fu movie or something like that. So you don't want that. So this is something you're going to have to test, and I'll show you how to test it in a second. But the offset that works for me from my specific setup, and I've seen it be a little different for other people. Usually it's generally between about 150 milliseconds to about 200 milliseconds. So you could just set this for 150 just to start off as a starting point, and then you can test it. So just set the sync offset to here. You can have these tracks selected, which ones you want to monitor. I suggest keeping these monitors off. You can turn the monitor on, but again, you'll be hearing, what you'll hear is like your voice coming out of the computer from your interface, and you'll hear OBS giving you the audio, and it'll be a delay between the two. So it's like trying to hear yourself, but hearing a delay of yourself. So you don't want that. And you can play around with this. It may work for you for your specific needs. This is something you can play around with. I generally just keep it off, so it's not that big of a deal. So again, these are the settings you want to have in here. My desktop audio, this is again something you want to make sure you have set up. If you want to play something on your computer, say like a MP3 file or whatever audio your computer is getting, you want to have this checked, and you want to have this. I have the volume set to -9.5 because what I did was when I did a live concert using this, I was playing MP3 tracks, backing tracks that I was playing to and singing to. So, and I wanted those to be balanced with my singing and what was coming out of my keyboard and all of that kind of stuff. So this is the setting that worked for me. Again, this is something you can test. And again, I'll show you how to test this in a second. As far as this button here, you can just leave this selected. This is the actor. This is what you're showing here. If you unselect it, it'll do some other stuff, but you just keep this selected. So this is nothing important. All right. So then you close this. Now, the next thing you want to do is go through this exact same process to set up your video camera. And again, this is important if you have a DSLR camera or whatever. What you can do is set up your capture device. So what we'll go here and do is click the plus sign, go to what is it? Video capture device. So here we did audio capture device. Now we're doing the video capture device. So you click this, click on new, and again, you can name this whatever. It's just called video capture device for me at this point. Click OK. Now, just like the audio input device option, this is the drop down for this. So you can select whatever things you have set up to your computer. You can actually connect your phone to your computer, your iPhone or your Android, and have this see it, as long as you have the drivers and stuff for Windows. I think it does it on Mac automatically, but I think there's a driver that you need for your phone on the Windows computer. Whether or not you have an iPhone or Android, it'll work with both. I think you just need a particular driver, if I'm not mistaken. So again, whatever things you have connected to your computer, and again, make sure if it's your phone, just have it connected to your computer before you hit this drop down menu or before you go here. That way this will automatically see it. If you connect it afterwards, it may see it. It may just pop up in this list, but it may not, and you may have to close this down and start over. So make sure you see it there. So for me, I'm using the Sparkle Cam software, and this is one of the options that I told you that was optional. Again, this is the software that allows my computer to see my Canon camera, and I use my Canon camera as my live stream camera. So whatever you have connected, your phone or whatever, you select that here. And for me, I'm going to leave this selected. You don't have to worry about any of these settings here. All you have to do is leave it at where it is and just click OK. Now, as you can see here, it's added my video capture device. This is what I kept it named. So I don't need it. I already have this set up again for my Canon camera, but this is how you set it up. So I'm just going to close that out. Now, one additional thing I want to add here for audio input capture devices, like your audio interface, your software for your interface should have come with some sort of software. If not, I think it'll be okay, but in most cases, it'll come with some sort of software. So my Focusrite software is this software here. Now, one of the things that allowed me to make this stereo and make this work properly was taking the first 1 and 2 channels here and panning them left and right. So use this pan knob here if you're using the Scarlett, which is a really popular interface. So chances are you may have one of these, and this interface looks similar. This is one of the first models of it, so the newer interface looks a little bit different, but it works exactly the same. But what you want to do is go to the first 2 channels, pan the first channel left and pan the second channel right. So usually when you get them, they're here in the center, just like the rest of these channels here. Just take the first one and pan it left, pan the second one right. That way you get that stereo sound if this is what you're going for. Now, this is nothing that's necessary, but it's one of those things. If like you're a keyboard player, we like to hear our sound in stereo. We like to hear our keyboards in stereo. We don't like to hear that mono sound. And generally speaking, stereo sound it just sounds better to the ear. So if this is something you want to set up, you can. If you're only doing something like, say, a guitar and a vocal, like you're playing acoustic guitar and you're plugging that, an electric acoustic, and you're plugging that into your interface, and you're using like a mic or something in your second input to sing into, this is really not necessary. You don't want to create that guitar on the left and vocal all the way to the right. Generally speaking, I would just keep these in the center if it's something like that. Or you could do like even a slight pan, just like slightly to the left, and this is your guitar, slightly to the right for your vocal, and that'll give it a little bit of separation. But to have it just all the way over here and all the way there with 2 separate channels like this, with one being guitar and the other one being vocal, can be a little disconcerting. So either just leave it directly in the center here or just pan it slightly. But for the purposes of this training, we'll leave it as all the way to the left and to the right for stereo sound. Again, this is what all of your sound is going to be coming into. So if you have like a band or something you want to record, you run all of them through a mixer, a 16 channel mixer or something like that, and then take the outputs, the left and right outputs of that mixer, plug them into the first 2 channels of your interface. That way you have all of the sound coming through here. You can pan it how you want to on the mixer itself. You can, put the keyboards in stereo. You can pan the guitar to the left, put the other guitar to the right, put the vocals in the center, things like that. You can do all of that, and OBS will pick this up. So again, this is just a simple note that you want to use. This is not the case with all interfaces. I think with some, you don't even have software and it may just see it that way. So you should be fine. But with the interfaces that do have software, this is how you set it up. Okay, so the next thing you want to do here is run a simple test to make sure that all of this is working. So it's a simple way to do it. All you have to do is click Start Recording here. Make sure that your interface is being heard. Like if you have a keyboard coming through your interface, make sure you see this line moving, just like my snowball mic here. The wave thing is going up. What you want to do is set this to where you're not coming up here in the red. What you want to do is be peaking at most in this yellow right here. You don't want this to be super loud. This is distortion up in this manner. So all you have to do is turn the volume sliders down here. I'll turn mine up and down with this, and you can see that just subtracted the sound. So keep it up here, and you can kind of visualize and see how loud it is. Do this for all of your audio input capture things. So what you want to do is run a test with Start Recording this. Make sure your camera is being seen here, your phone or your DSLR camera or whatever it is that you're using. Make sure that's being seen and you can see yourself. Make sure this is on, and then you click Start Recording. That way this will create a recording of what you do, and you can test yourself playing or singing for, a good 15 or 20, 30 seconds maybe. Just play and sing something, and then you'll go back and look at the video to make sure everything is matched up. So I don't have my camera connected right now for the purposes of this, but just imagine that my camera is connected here, and this is the screen where you will see yourself or your camera here. So click Start Recording. I'll just say mic test 1 2, mic test 1 2 3, mic test for training, snowball mic test, Focusrite, audio input capture, snowball, Focusrite, Canon M50. All right, so that's enough. We'll click Stop Recording. From there, all you have to do to check this is go up to File, Show Recordings. And from there, it'll open the folder where you have your recordings. It's on my other screen. Let me bring it over So this is the list of recordings I have here. This is the one we just did. I'll click on it. I'll just say mic test 1 2, mic test 1 2 3, mic test for training, snowball, mic test, Focusrite, audio input capture, snowball. Okay, great. So yeah, it's working. It's picking up that the recording works. What you want to be looking for here though is that your audio is matching your video. So again, look for the discrepancies between your mouth moving and what you're hearing. You don't want that to be offset. If you hear an offset, go back to that process, which I told you before. All you have to do is click the gear icon here, go to advanced audio properties, play with this sync offset. Again, usually it's somewhere around 150. You can play with it in intervals of say 50. Just go to 200, go to 250. You know, if it's more or less, go to 100, go to 50. Try it until you get it set, and do this with all of your capture devices so that they match. What you don't want, again, is this to be unmatched. You don't want your guitar strumming or your keyboard playing, you be playing a chord and it's sounding at a different time than what you're playing it. So that's how you fix this, and that's how you test it. Okay, so now how we're going to set this up to stream to either say Facebook Live or YouTube Live. This is very simple. It's a very simple process. So the first thing you want to do is go up here to File and go down to Settings. Now, you don't have to do it in this menu. There's a Settings button right here. You can simply just click this button. I've just made it a habit of going up to the File menu and selecting it here. So you can select either one. They're both of the same thing. So either click this button here, the Settings button here, or click the one up here and it'll go to the same thing. This is the one I just clicked here. I'll show you that it'll open up this exact same menu. So you see the exact same menu there. From here, all you want to do is go to Stream. Now, the service here you're going to set up, you have an option of doing all of these services here: Facebook Live, YouTube, everything you see here, Twitch, all of these options here that you see, you have the option of streaming live to. So for this purposes, we'll just do Facebook Live and there. So from here, what you'll do, you'll leave this set as default as the server. What you're going to do is select Get Stream Key. Now pay attention to this process because this is kind of important to how you do it. And I'll show you how to run a test on this too before you go like actually live so you can see how to work. So all you do here is hit Get Stream Key. Now what this will do is take you to Facebook, and if this is your first time doing it, it'll make you sign in. Respective times after that, it won't make you. So you see it's already has me signed into my Facebook account here. And all you're going to do once you sign in, you'll get that set up. You'll click Create Live Stream. Now once you click on Get Stream Key, you'll be taken to this page. Now this is your page. What you want to do first is to test this. Change this instead of going public. This is just like your regular Facebook post where you can set to either public or private or whatever. What you want to set this to first in order to test it is select Only Me. That's your option that you're going to select. So Only Me. That way when you hit go live, the only person that'll see this is you on your page. It won't go live to any of your friends or anything like that. So here you can title the video, name it what you want to say it. You can say something about it, and this will become like the top of your Facebook post, right? Okay, so this is all you have to set that up. From here, it's very simple. All you have to do is this stream key here. Click copy. What you're going to do is copy this stream key. If for some reason that doesn't work, I don't know why it wouldn't, but all you do is just go in here and select all of the numbers and letters here. Click Control C or Command C on Mac, click copy, and then what you're going to do is minimize this and go back to OBS. From there, that stream key, once you copied it, you're just going to paste it in here. You're going to delete this. Let me delete all of it, and then click Control V on Windows or either Command V on Mac. Paste that stream key in there and click Apply. Once you click Apply, just click OK. That's gonna get your stream going to Facebook. So now what you see this picture here that says waiting for live stream. What it's doing is waiting for the stream to start in OBS. So let me move this over so you can see how this is going to work. From there, all you have to do is just click this Start Streaming button. Click Start Streaming, And let me go back to the Facebook page that closed when I did that. So you see it here. It's already connecting the live video. So right now, if my camera was connected, this would be seeing me. So you can see yourself here in the video. Now, one of the things that you're going to see here, there's going to be a delay. There's going to be a delay in the sound in the video that's coming from that you're giving to OBS that's going to Facebook. There's going to be about a 7-second delay. So if you clap your hands and you see that you clap your hands now, it's going to be about 7 seconds later before Facebook sees it. That's not a problem because, generally speaking, everybody else will be seeing it exactly one way. They won't be seeing the delay. I just don't want you to get confused by that delay and see it and like, oh my God, this is the way it's going to look in the video. As long as you have everything set up in OBS properly, you'll be able to, stream this properly and people won't see that delay. So that's why I was getting you through the process of setting it up in OBS before time. So it's that simple. That's all you have to do. From there, once you're ready to go live, you just click this go live button. It's going to take it about, a few seconds. I'm not going to hit go live here, but it'll just take a few seconds for it to go live. And you can start your live stream just as you normally would with a Facebook Live on your phone or whatever. And this is the same process for YouTube and for the other options that you have here. Now, the only thing different is once you're ready to go live, what I recommend doing is just changing this back to public. That way, everyone on and off Facebook will be able to see your video. You can also change this to, your friends or whatever, just friends only. You can change it to that if you want. That's fine. Only your friends will see it. One of the things that allows you to see how many views that your video is getting is when you change it to public. If you have this set on friends, you won't be able to see that number under the video and you won't be able to get that feedback to how many people have watched your video and things like that. And that's fine if that's something that's not important to you, but I just recommend keeping this set to public and you're good to go. Now, that's really it. Once your live stream is over, you'll be able to see it here. You can click the stop streaming button here. Once you hit go live here, this button will turn into a stop streaming. You can click it here, or you can even stop it from OBS. Let me close this down. You can click the stop streaming here, and what will happen is OBS will stop sending the stream to Facebook. So that will just cut the live stream down. So make sure you do that while when you finish your live stream. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory. What I do recommend is going through OBS and playing with some of these settings. What this particular thing here, let me discuss this scenes option right quick. So what this allows you to do, so I have two monitors here, video monitors on my computer here. So I can set this up to see both monitors. I can set up a scene. So this will be, I call this scene my startup. This is where I just start up and I'm talking to people. This is seen as my performance. And what you'll see is these options and these sources over here change based on the scene that I select here. So once I click performance, you'll see this only changes to the Canon M50 and the Focusrite. So this is when I'm performing on the live stream and I only want people to hear what's coming through my audio interface and seeing me on my camera. What I don't want is while I'm playing is this Focusrite or the Snowball rather to be heard while I'm playing. So a lot of times I have the mic like I do now close to my guitar or close to the keyboard, and you can hear that kind of clicking, that you would hear like if the keyboard was turned completely off and you were just playing on it. You'd hear that clicking sound of your fingers pressing down the notes and the keys and stuff like that, going into the sound. So I don't want that for my live streams. So when I get ready to perform, I'm talking to the people here. I'm saying, hey everybody, I'm good to go. We're going to start the song. The next song is such and such. And I click it here and I say, okay, let's get started. Then I click this performance. It turns that mic off and just lets people see this. And then I start performing. Then once I'm done, I just go back to startup here and then everything else is enabled. So that's one of the things I recommend you doing, just playing with. That's nothing that's really necessary at all. You can just leave this as is and not have any scenes. But it's something I recommend playing with. And again, the process of setting it up is as simple as setting up these sources here. Just click the plus button, name the scene, and then you can add it. I'll click scene 2 here just to go through the process. From there, the scene 2, you see you don't have any sources. You can add as many sources as you want. You've already set up the stuff you want. So you can just click here, add audio input capture, select one of the existing. You can put that here, let's go to select a snowball, put that there. Now your snowball is in this scene. So, you know, or your video, whichever one you want to select. And that's all you have to do. It's really, really that simple. And one of the other things you can do is if you have like visuals or something like that with your stuff, you can add all of those things here. You can add different sources, say, where is it, like a media source? You can add like an MP3 file or something like that if you want to play that, add images and all of this kind of stuff. You can add your display capture. Like here, this is one of the things that I do when I'm doing lots of tutorials. I'll show my screen. So my display capture here, you'll see, let me add display capture. And now it's just seeing that because OBS is, you see this double and triple, OBS is seeing that screen and seeing itself at the same time. That's why you see all of these windows. So you can add that. It'll see your monitors. This is my monitor left. I can add it to my monitor right. Let me see if I can do that. Let me take that one out. So add another display capture. Well, you can go through this process and see it for yourself, but this is how it works. You can add your monitors. If you got 2 or 3 monitors connected to your computer, video monitors, you can do that. You can add all of these sources and you can play with this stuff just to see how it works for you. And it makes for a good, you know, presentation when you're performing or when you're teaching lessons or things like that. You can show people your desktop, all of this kind of stuff. So those are some of the things that I recommend doing. All right, that's it for this training video on setting up live streaming and getting the best sound and video quality for musicians. I hope this helps you in this time where we are all kind of, you know, doing live concerts and things from home and from our bedrooms and things like that. This is something that's really good because it'll allow you to get the best sound out of what you're doing versus, you know, setting up just a cell phone and, you know, putting it in a corner of the room and letting it videotape you, and you're getting like all of this room sound in your recordings and all of this kind of stuff. You get a better recording, better audio and video recording with using this process. So if you have any other questions, you can drop them under this video and I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.